Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the 157 show. This has been a long gap between our last video and this one. We're hoping to kind of give you guys a little update on some stuff that's happened here recently with some coaches and coaching changes, I guess.
Yeah, primarily on the plains. That's going to be the focus of this video.
Yeah.
But Alabama had some stuff
We
come
did.
up this weekend or this week as well.
We did. You know,
can tell it's a peak off season because things are just coming up in fire, and where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
poor old Pete Golden here has made a terrible decision of National Signing Day. He got a little excited, I guess, and he went out and had one too many. Literally one too many. He was arrested early in the morning on I guess it was Thursday.
Thursday morning about 1 a.m. is what I read.
So
up in Northport. So
which for y'all that may not know where Northport is, it's literally right above Tuscaloosa. There's a bridge right beside the stadium. You go across that, you're in Northport. I mean, it's right there.
yeah, it's just a.
It was a
just
terrible
bridge.
decision by him to do such a stupid thing.
When you have the resources available as a coach, especially at the University of Alabama, I agree. And casually speaking, anybody,
even if it's just a regular Uber, Lyft, everything is available right now. Especially in a college town like that.
Yeah,
come on, man.
I mean, I remember partying in Tuscaloosa in college, and they had like golf carts and stuff that would bring you. They would go to the bars and take you to your apartments.
There is no excuse for drinking and driving the way he does, or the way he did. Ain't no does. He did.
The way he did.
The way he did. I mean, there's no excuse for it. There's plenty of options he could have done to get back home. You know, and there's really no excuse. I can't even. I'm not gonna sit here and try and justify him and defend him, but. I mean, it's a terrible decision by him.
Now, I don't want to put you in a hard spot, but I will ask, do you think he's going to get fired, or is it going to be a major slap on the hand? And
it'll be an internal thing. I mean, Saban, he typically, he doesn't do a lot of, unless it's something really bad, then I don't think he's going to do anything. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to downplay the DUI. It is something bad. But to be fair, it's not like killing someone, Henry Ruggs situation type thing.
Somebody.
Yeah.
So
it didn't happen, luckily.
Thankfully, let's pause there.
Yeah, I mean, luckily nothing
no one
happened.
was hurt. Like it was a good time for it to happen, I guess.
Yeah.
When he got pulled over,
I don't know the whole situation behind him getting pulled over, maybe done, swerving in and out of lane. Who knows? But either way, he was pulled over and arrested. It was like $500 bail, and he was evidently still in the jail
the next morning.
In the morning. So I don't know what was going on with that. But there's something that I've seen where he has to have a blood alcohol level lower than a certain number to be able to be released, even if he does post bail. So evidently he may have been really tore up.
He was having a good time celebrating that national signing.
He was really tore up.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess while we're on the subject of Alabama, we also have hired 3 other coaches. To replace some of the coaches we have left. I don't even know if they have left because there's nothing that has come out about all that. But we hired an offensive line coach from Kentucky. We kind of stole that. We hired a defensive back coach, and we also hired a special teams / tight ends coordinator. The Kentucky guy I'm really excited about because he did a lot with the Kentucky's offensive line. I'm trying to remember what his name. Damn, Wolford. That's his name, Eric Wolford. He's coming. Like I said, he's coming over from Kentucky. He did a lot with the talent that they had up there, and being able to put together a good offensive line. I'm hoping maybe we can get some of these guys that on our offensive line straightened out a little bit. I'm thinking this is what I've been saying the whole time about this. The coach that we had coaching offensive line, he was an NFL head coach at one point. I feel like maybe some of the terminology and some of the things he was telling the players, maybe he expected them to already know instead of coaching them.
So you think there's a skill gap?
Basically. I feel like there was a disconnect there in the communication between what he wants you to do and what you haven't learned already. You know what I mean?
I guess that'd be a knowledge gap rather than a skill gap.
Yeah.
But I think the lack of knowledge may lead into the skill gap.
Yeah.
So I think it may have started with a knowledge gap.
Right.
what you're alluding to there.
Yeah, that's just my thing, and I mean nothing's been proven to it. That's just my thinking about it.
Yeah, and we, obviously, guys, we speculate on this type of things. Like we're not going to sit here and dive into the X's and O's. And live and breathe it, but based off what we're seeing and.
I mean, you can tell the offensive line.
See that there's a gap somewhere.
The amount of recruits and the high level recruits we get, especially offensive line and defensive line, there should be no reason why we're giving up as many sacks as we gave up last year. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping maybe this will correct it. The offensive line, like I said, he was a good coach for Kentucky. So hopefully we got that coming along, and we can have that problem fixed from next year. Also, we hired a defensive back coach that is going to be replacing Jay, and I can never say this guy's name, but Valahi or something.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, Jay Valahi, he left and went to, I believe, Oregon, excuse me. I was thinking about Mr. Auburn leaving to go to Oregon. But we hired Travarius Robinson. I want to make sure I'm saying it right, but Travarius Robinson, he's I want to say he's a Georgia guy.
I don't know. I was thinking Auburn.
The name sounds very familiar, but I want to say he's a Georgia guy. I was wrong. It says Robinson played for Auburn from 1999 2002.
I thought
he has coaching experience in the SEC at Florida, Auburn, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Last season, he was a defensive back coach for Miami Hurricanes. So, yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Cool. Hey, War Eagle folks, they made it to Auburn or Alabama.
Made it to Alabama. Yeah, no. So we hired him to hopefully maybe connect a little bit better to. I'm not saying Coach Saban always has his hands in the defensive backs.
That's what he played.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But maybe hiring a quote unquote younger guy maybe can connect a little bit better with the newer style of play, newer generation of people, stuff like that. I'm not saying Coach Saban can't connect to these people because all these D's nuts jokes that he does, but I'm just saying that maybe that's what that was about. And then we hired the good Lord, what is this guy's name? Coleman Hutzler. He's our tight ends and special teams coordinator.
I'm gonna call him Coach Hustler.
I'm not even gonna go into him because I'll be straight up with you. That name doesn't even sound familiar to me at all.
Yeah, no.
But he has coached at Florida, South Carolina, and Ole Miss. So, hey,
all right,
he's been there in the SEC. We'll see what happens with him.
Yeah.
So that's our coaches that we've picked up and replaced and all that good stuff. But
you want to shift over? Transition to the Plains.
We can go down south.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I had to think about that for a second.
We can go down south.
Saturday down south. All right, folks.
Yeah, let's do it.
Auburn has. We talked about Mike Bobo earlier in the year. It was poor play calling and poor development and just utter lack of production, and that's why Auburn chose to dismiss Mike Bobo from his position as the offensive coordinator. I'll kind of jump into Austin Davis first because his tenure is much shorter. So Austin Davis was going to be the replacement for Mike Bobo. He was a Seattle Seahawks coach. He played in the NFL.
Quarterbacks coach, I believe.
Yeah, quarterbacks coach for Russell Wilson. So I was excited to have him on the Plains to, one, develop your quarterbacks and to be in the quarterback room to kind of work on that development and building the rapport with new recruits. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for Austin Davis. He's
taken a personal leave.
Yeah, he's done with the program. I guess dismissed. He's dismissed himself from the program for personal reasons, which he cited for the daily grind, and he wants to spend more time with friends and family. If that's the case, go ahead, man. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. The timing of this was not...
it's a little suspect.
No.
I'm not going to speculate on what it is.
Yeah.
But it's a little suspect.
I mean, what I mean by the timing of it was poor because it was like the day of or the day before National Signing Day. It was right around that kind of time frame, and he only spent approximately 43 days, so about 6 weeks on campus. So he wasn't there that long to really make an impact. Mm-hmm. He was kind of still learning his job, obviously, and the staff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But it is what it is. If he wasn't going to be there 100% committed, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that in a bad way. If you got things going on, go for it. Straighten your life out. That's more important than Auburn football.
Right.
But it just wasn't good timing.
Yeah.
And it's not a good look for Harsin either.
I mean, not for someone that has lost. He's done got rid of. I know you'll dive into it, man. But defensive coordinator, lost his offensive coordinator from last year.
He didn't get rid of him. That's kind of the trend. That's
not necessarily. I'll let you discuss that, but I'll give you some input on the rumors I've seen. You may have heard the same thing, but
could be. So let's dive into the defensive coordinator. So down Mike Bobo through a dismissal, so fired, and Austin Davis left for personal reasons. So we can just leave it at that. And now we got Derek Mason. So it is 3 coordinators in the course of a couple months. So not a good look. And I must admit that when Derek Mason left, it was a red flag for me for Harsin. Now, I'm not sad. I'm not thinking that something's going on with Harsin. And we are aware that there's rumors floating out there. Those will not be discussed in this
we're not going to discuss anything that is being speculated at the moment.
This is strictly coordinator and support staff roles. So it was kind of a red flag when Mason left because he took a defensive coordinator position with the Oklahoma State Pokes, I think is what they're called.
The Cowboys.
Yeah.
The Pokes.
They took I'm going to call it as it is. I think it's a lateral move, defensive coordinator to defensive coordinator position. And the Homer opinion is it's a lesser program. So I do think that Auburn's a better program than
to me,
Oklahoma State. And so it's a very suspect move for him to go from one to another. Now, to be clear, I think I've said on the show before, I did not expect Derek Mason to be there more than 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. So for him to leave after 1 year, it was a red flag for me.
Now, I'm just going to tell you the rumor that I heard. Now, like I said, it may not be true at all. Now, the rumor is that the powers to be at Auburn wanted Derek Mason to stay on staff. And Harsin did not want him anyway. He wants to bring in his guys and be his people.
Let me talk on that then. So this is what I think happened when Harsin got hired. And if we do a Harsin video, this stuff will probably be covered. So I'm going to just touch on it quickly here for everybody. I think that what occurred is Harsin came from Boise. So we all know that's not near the Southeast. I hope y'all know that. But there are some Alabama fans on the show, so I get it.
Oh, shut up.
He came from Boise, Idaho, into the Southeast. He had no connections, no coaching connections. So
he did coach at Arkansas State. That's the only Southern connection.
Yeah, and that's kind of Midwest, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit, yeah.
So when he came, I think that he got hired with the premise of, you're hired, but you have to have an offensive and defensive coordinator that have these ties. Therefore, he was kind of forced to get Mike Bobo and Derek Mason. I think that's what occurred.
Right.
Now, that's pure speculation. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of that's pretty much where I was at with the same quote unquote rumor speculation was, that his hand was kind of forced in the scenario that he had.
Yeah. And so since Derek Mason has left to go to Oklahoma State, wishing the best of luck. I thought he was a great coordinator. Outside of the Mississippi State collapse, I have no issues with what has occurred with his defense. I liked it a lot. Jeff Schmedding has been promoted as defensive coordinator, and Auburn is still in search of a new offensive coordinator, who I think will be used primarily to develop quarterbacks and to make sure your personnel is right. I think Harsin's going to be calling the plays.
Another thing, and it just popped in my head when you said that the other guy was taking over. I think I saw that Mason was actually not calling plays later in the season. That the new guy, Jeff Schmedding, that he was actually calling the plays, and basically Mason was a filler.
See, I've seen that, but I don't know how.
I don't know the truth to it.
I can't say that there's any truth to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't like put the
especially since Mason didn't leave November 27th or shortly after the Iron Bowl. If that had been the case, probably a little bit of a different story. But
I'm sure it may be some sort of contract thing, though.
In January of 2022, a month after the season has ended, I don't necessarily buy into that.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a contract situation where he's going to get so much money if he waits so long. Yada yada yada. Those contracts are really weird how they're laid out. Like, it's weird.
Yeah,
I need you to stay to this date, and we'll give you an extra $150,000.
And a parting note for the Auburn and what's going on in the Plains, I just want to say, did you know, I didn't know this about Derek Mason, did you know that he coached on the offensive side of the ball prior to 2007?
I didn't know that. I figured he'd be a defensive guy through and through.
Wide receivers, special teams, and he sprinkled in some defensive coordinator positions or defensive back positions back then, but primarily he was offensive side.
Really?
And
I didn't know that.
post 2007, when he coached at the Minnesota Vikings, he switched over to the defensive side of the ball.
Gotcha. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's pretty interesting.
there you go.
Other than that, I mean,
I'm good.
that's pretty much all we got to touch on today. We're gonna be more than likely putting out another video, probably in the near future, possibly on.
It is peak off season, so there will be some videos. We're gonna kind of let some things shake out and see what's going on. Is my opinion of
Yeah, we're gonna wait and let things figure out what path they're gonna go, and then we'll hop on here and discuss it and put a video out. Before we do anything, and sign off, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, that like button, and that follow button, guys. There's follow button. I've been on Facebook too much.
subscribe button. This
Yeah,
one.
that one. Hit that one.
Yeah.
Hit the like button and drop a comment below. Let us guys, let us know what you guys are thinking. With these coaches, are you guys excited about them? Are you kind of nervous? Just let us know.
And to be clear, I'm getting a little bit nervous, folks. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll see what happens. You got maybe he's got another year.
Yeah.
Till then, we'll see you guys next time. Roll Tide.
War Eagle.